Welcome to the second part of Can't Help Falling in Love. This is my own arrangement. And then, so we've just played, but I can't help falling in love with you. And then you've got the second part that sounds like this. And then back into the other part that I showed you. So that part, once you get the loop, it's a little bit tricky, but once you get the loop, you can just practice it in a loop and it'll make sense. So you've got... Now, your thumb is on the C, and you're already playing this E flat in your left hand. All you have to do for this next part is think about moving this forefinger that's playing an A flat. You need to move that A flat into a G. So, and I play it with my pinky. So you just literally play that chord. That's the one of the next measure. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So we have to break it into and. So you've got 1 and. So you can literally say those numbers 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when you're playing this measure. 1 and 2 and. So on 2 and you're playing. You're still holding these down. Your bottom two fingers are going to move. This is going to go from an E flat to an F and a G. Let me just show you the left hand. E flat, F, G, A flat, and then back to the G. And it sort of holds that A flat a little bit longer. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So if you literally just play that with your left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you can loop it to get used to it. All right, what your right hand is doing, you play all those three chords, those three notes. And so you've got 1 and your thumb, your pinky stays where it is, and your thumb plays a D, an E flat, a D, and a B, like this. So you notice that it gets to this B before this, in the left hand, it goes from that A flat to the G. So these are all like eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the first one's a quarter note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So together, really slowly, you should do this slowly. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? Now the only other little trick here is that I have a little anticipation that pinky plays that G early for the other measure. So the first time you play it all on the one, right where you start the whole measure just playing those three notes. And then the last, and for the other measures, you're going to play that G right after you play this G in your left hand. So it's like it's like a little bit before the beginning of the measure. So it's like this. So once you sort of get that pattern down, so you'll notice the other thing that's weird is this C here. I played it right at the beginning, but once you start playing this G anticipated, you play the G, C, D, E flat, D, B. So once you get going, it's all eighth notes until you hold that B. Actually, I lied to you. It's kind of like two eighth notes because there's an eighth note at the end of the measure and then one at the beginning. Anyway, what you should do is like slow this down and try to play that pattern and just loop it in your hands. Okay. So once you play it through 3 times. Play this thing that sounds like this. So that's you're playing this G with your left hand already. Let me see what you're already playing. Yeah, so you're already playing that G in your left hand, and you're gonna play a C and an E flat in your right hand. And then you're gonna jump down, you're gonna play an F with your left hand and an A with your right thumb. And you're gonna play the melody, which is the C and the E flat, into a D flat. So here's the first little part. There's no place I'd rather. And as soon as you play that D with your right hand, you're going to play these 3 black notes, the D, the B flat, and the A flat. And you just repeat this F with your left hand. After that, you move the F in your left hand down to an E flat. You drop the D flat out of your right hand, and you're just going to play these 2 black notes, and they're going to resolve just like in the first part. This A flat is going to turn into a G like this. And it drops down to the G. So here's that whole bridge section slowly. Anticipate. This is the second time through, and here's the third time. Chord, this drops here, melody, all 3 here, this drops here, and you're going to resolve here. And that's part 2.